Maybe the show is about finding someone to bring him back to reality, make him not such a party guy.
Yeah, someone to tie him down. You know what I mean? Figuratively and literally.
Welcome to Drafted. I'm your host, Daniel Prentice, and as always, I am joined by my dear friend and wonderfully and tremendously talented co-host, Preston Thompson. Preston, how are you doing this week, and what are you drinking, my friend?
I'm doing great. We've had a couple power surges today, which are freaking me out a little bit about recording a show. But
who knows if this one will record all the way through or not?
Yeah, who knows? If you're hearing this, it's because the gods shined brightly upon our destiny today. And if you're wondering why I'm speaking like that, that's a little hint
I see what
of
you did
we're
there.
doing. Yeah, I know. Thanks. But I'm doing good. I'm drinking a Rapturous from Three Taverns Brewery, which is local to Atlanta, Georgia. Cheers, everybody. Love it. And let's go.
Okay, perfect. What a beautiful intro. What a beautiful intro. And it sets us up perfectly for our guest. Another first-time guest. We've been doing great at bringing new guests onto the show this season. I'm so proud of ourselves for this. And this one is particularly cool. She only has one name. It's Lana. Only cool people go by one name. You can also find her as HouseLanaster.
Prince.
Beyonce, Cher.
Queen.
Madonna.
Well, Queen is
Metallica.
Okay.
Obama.
All right, you're losing it a little
Pantera.
bit. Okay.
I had it.
Anyway, you can find her as HouseLanaster on Twitch. She's a tremendous streamer. That's how we met her and how we know she's going to be a great guest. But, Lana, how are you doing and what are you drinking tonight?
I'm so excited that this is my first time ever on a podcast. And
on any
I'm
podcast.
drinking
Wow.
on any podcast.
We're your first, huh?
The first.
What
All right,
an
that's enough of that. I'm drinking. Sorry.
Don't worry. We can just cut it.
They say you never forget your
funny.
first, you know?
No, it's really funny. I think you should. I'm gonna try really hard not to ruin my first time on a podcast. And I'm drinking the Reverend, which is a Belgian quad ale from the Avery Brewery in Boulder, Colorado.
A quad ale. Only in
quad
Boulder
ale.
do they do quad ales. Good
Very
Lord.
pretentious.
I don't
We
even know
love
what
it.
a quad ale is, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Neither do I.
Neither do us, apparently.
I could Google it. I don't know. I just read what was
Not
on the
worth
can.
It sounds
not
like
in the
something
spirit of the
somebody
show.
would say to you at the bar. But I got
Yeah.
the quad ale.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like someone has probably said that to me at a bar at some point, and I was just like, I don't know what that is either. So
Yeah, not in
It's
the
a
spirit of
good
the
beer.
show to Google it if you don't know. You just gotta either move on or pretend you do know. I wish sometimes that we do a video podcast because I wish you guys could have seen Lana's face before she admitted she didn't know, because it was so painfully obvious that she didn't know, and I was kind of hoping she was going to try to save herself.
Make something up.
no.
But she didn't. I am drinking a Flamingo Party from Proof Brewing Company, which is finally, I am doing a beer from Tallahassee. It is a strawberry passion fruit blonde ale, which I got to be honest is a little sweet for me, but it is nice and sour, which I like. But it's a little much. But it's cool. It's got flamingos all over the can, which is why my mother, who is obsessed with flamingos, got it for me.
Now I'm gonna bring a flamingo themed gift when I come and stay
Okay, if you want to ingratiate yourselves,
you got it on the first try. That was great.
Yeah, thanks.
really good.
I'm a professional speaker. If you want to ingratiate yourselves to my parents, or really just my mom, definitely bring it flamingo stuff. Not the
Just
tacky,
note that.
gaudy stuff though. She doesn't like that. She just
I
wants
was just
nice
gonna ask
flamingos.
if she has lawn flamingos because I
No.
always wanted those, but it'd be so stupid to have them where I live.
Well, so she does have she has flamingos that she has in the yard, but they're not like the pink plastic ones that you think of. They're like nice artisan.
So a
like,
flamingo
metal,
gift that's
hand-painted ones and
not
shit.
gaudy. Interesting.
Not gaudy and not tacky. Yeah.
Flamingos are kind of gaudy just by nature. You know what I mean?
That is their
Yeah.
whole
They're
being.
a little
Yeah.
obnoxious.
No. How dare you?
I dare. They're just
Absolutely no. Flamingos
right
are
out
fucking
there.
cool. Did you know flamingos? Flamingos are more balanced on one leg than they are two, and that's why they always stand on one leg because of the way their knees lock. It's like when they can lock in one leg, they're more stable. I don't know science.
How do you know that?
Because my mom's obsessed with flamingos.
Did you ask the flamingo? Like, how does anybody how do you
How
even
does
do a study
anybody
on
know that?
How do you even do a study on that?
You put it on two legs and you go, "How you
Scientists.
doing, bud? How you doing? You doing okay?"
And then
it's
you
like,
just-
"Nah, man."
I'm feeling
Just gently
pretty
tip him
stable
a
right
little.
now.
Yeah, now I'm imagining scientists gently pushing flamingos over and being like, that one didn't fall.
It
Look
seems
at
like he
that.
wobbled a little more on 2 feet than on 1.
Listen, you don't question science, okay? You just accept it.
It's
right?
true. Yep.
All right.
Everybody get the vaccine.
That's
Exactly.
Yeah, that's first thing I asked when I did this was, is everybody vaccinated?
Even though we're in a Zoom call, I like that you made sure.
Like to be
'Cause listen, you never know how that variant's going to come after
Be
you.
too careful.
I don't know, man.
With all these,
We
all
all have 5G now. How do we know that it's not being transmitted over
Oh
Zoom?
no. Oh no. You missed our conspiracy episode by like a month.
Yeah, we should have Lana on for the conspiracy theorist. She's a genuine conspiracy theorist, so
I am.
She would have been perfect for that episode. But before we get too far off topic here,
Sorry. Yes.
Preston. No, it's okay. It was our fault. Mm-hmm. Preston, what are we drafting this week?
This week, we are drafting Greek gods and goddesses to star in our reality television show. Now, immediate clarification. What kind of reality show are we talking about here?
I'm so glad you asked. I wanted to see what kind of reality show you guys wanted to do. Are we all doing the same, or are we all doing separate ones?
I think we should do the same. I was kind of envisioning like a Bachelor type deal.
I would love that.
Bachelor
Bachelor or
instead of
Bachelorette?
Survivor?
Not Survivor. Survivor, I feel like you're leaning too heavily on their like superpowers. Like you would take all the people who are really good at farming, and that's just not as fun.
So are who are the gods / goddesses trying to date?
Well, I think that's up to you.
You get to pick. I think you get to pick. Yeah.
Okay.
So you get to pick your one
Right.
Bachelor or Bachelorette, and then you get to pick your 5, contestants that are going to be vying for their love and affection.
Can I tell you something?
Please.
I've never seen an episode of The Bachelor,
Neither have
Oh my
I.
god. Oh my
I
god,
watched-
you two.
but I watch a lot of Rock of Love. I watched Flavor of Love. I watched
Okay.
all of the spin-offs.
You pretty much
so
got it then. Yeah.
That's what I'm going off.
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Much better.
Same. Yeah. Flavor of Love. I think we all need to have a New York on our team, right? If we want to have a chance of winning this.
That's true.
Yes.
New York was robbed.
This is like I feel like Bachelor Bachelorette probably is not trashy enough for what we want. So the Flavor of Love, Rock of Love, a shot at love with Tila Tequila might be
at
even
love,
more appropriate because
Yeah.
she was bisexual, so she had men and women on the show, which I think is definitely going to be a vibe that we
Absolutely.
are going to have to be striving for here.
This is true. Okay, so then is one of our draft picks the Bachelor, for lack of it, or
Yeah.
Bret
And you can
Michaels
decide.
or
You can
Flavor
decide at
Flav?
the end. You can decide at the end.
Yeah.
which
You
one.
don't have to decide right away. You can decide. You can draft that character at any time, and you can decide at the end which one is which if you so choose.
Okay, all right, I can do this.
Otherwise, are we all on the same page? I think that there are so many fucking goddamn Greek gods and goddesses.
Yes.
We had a list. Basically, we Googled, when you Google Greek gods on your phone, weirdly didn't come up when I searched on my desktop. When you search on your phone, there's like a list of 24. And there are a handful of titans in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, it has to be some sort of shortened list because otherwise there would be just an
Too many.
unfathomable amount. And I'm not an expert by any means on Greek mythology. I struggled to get just enough information from the short list that we decided for, what we're going to use to draft.
So what is our background like? What kind of previous knowledge is everybody coming into our subject with?
Good question.
I mean, I had a lot of weird stages as a teenager, and one of those was like the Irish War for Independence. I had Greek gods.
that's cool.
I was also a horse girl, so like there's lots of them.
wow.
So it's fine. that'll come into play later. Don't worry about it.
What a Renaissance woman. Really covering all the bases there. All
Yeah,
the
really.
different phases you can go through.
So I like am I a Greek god, a Greek mythology scholar? No. But I feel like I know enough about them to be able to like make a good case for whoever I end up getting to draft.
I think Lana is going to absolutely school us, and we'll probably have to defer to her on a lot of the background information on a lot of the people that we pick.
That's fine. So
the
my
vibe.
background here is I have about 35 hours in Hades, which I assume is very accurate to the mythology. So I'm just going to go off
Probably.
of that. And everybody's wicked attractive.
What game is that rated? Or what game is it? What is that game rated?
M. I mean,
Oh,
Is
okay.
it really?
Okay,
it's gotta be. It's gotta be.
I thought it was be like
one of the characters has like one of the characters is dressed so. Okay, no, they're all very attractive. They're all incredibly sexual. It's fantastic. So
That
anytime
sounds accurate so far.
anytime anybody is drafted, that's what I'm going to be picturing in my head is whatever their depiction is.
I think there are some exceptions to the attractive thing.
In
I think
Hades?
Just a bunch of hot people.
like
There's
importantly, there's one who's famously not attractive.
yeah.
Well, I'd say there's more than one. But anyways, I'm
But
also
he tries
playing
really
through-
hard.
He does.
I'm also playing through Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I probably have like 10 hours in right now, which again, I assume is incredibly accurate. And I watched an episode of The Bachelorette yesterday. So
Oh, nice.
I'm as prepped as I probably could be.
And I have seen Disney's Hercules.
Nice. Nice. Okay, good. I love that.
I also took 4 years of Latin in high school, and there was like, it's like the Roman gods are pretty much exactly the same, but with different names. And there was also like Greek myth competition in high school Latin, and my sister was like a state champion in Greek myth, so she is like an actual expert. So I consulted her for some help in this draft.
No, we brought in a ringer? What the hell?
Yeah. If my voice changes at all during this show, it's not what you think it is. It's still me.
Okay, good to know.
I really think Lannister is going to have a much better breadth of knowledge of these characters. But if we're all on the same page here, why don't we get to it? Preston has the first pick. I have the second pick, and apologies to Lana. She is the third pick. But of course, as always, as we do every other draft, snake style, so the order will inverse on the even rounds. So, Preston, if you're all good to go here, why don't you get us started?
Well, I'm deciding between two, and I'm just going to hope that the one I don't pick is coming back around to me, because it seems like if we're doing the Bachelor, Bachelorette, or dating show style, you have to go with the goddess of love, and I'm taking Aphrodite. That seems like the logical choice here. I'm not going to try and get too fancy, but Aphrodite is like she literally invented the thing that my game show is about, which is love and passion.
That's not entirely accurate, I don't believe.
I feel like you could make a couple of arguments for other gods, but it's fine.
Ancient Greek goddess associated with love, beauty, pleasure, passion, and here's the kicker, everybody: procreation.
I mean, she's a great pick. I think an obvious pick, number one. But I don't want to give her credit for inventing love, because that is another god that I think will almost certainly be drafted later in the draft. So I just want to set the table for that later. But Aphrodite, I mean, seems great. I feel like Aphrodite is the perfect choice, especially if you are considering her as your Bachelorette, and everyone is vying for her.
I think I probably will. Yeah.
Because pretty much all of these gods at one point or another have vied for her love. So I think
She's
it's a
like
great
the
choice.
hot girl who's just nice to everybody, and you want to hate her, but you can't because she's so nice and she's so pretty. Like,
Yes.
that's fair. You would want her to be your
She's
contestant.
she is Regina George, like when you cut the circles in her shirt, but then she still
Well,
pulls off the.
No, she's nice. I think Aphrodite's nice. Except she
Yeah.
kind of cheats on her husband. But, like, we don't have to.
They all seem to.
Maybe they're in an open marriage.
Yeah. I mean,
Nobody
it's
is
all,
perfect in this list.
It's all relative. It's all relative. You know, like to be a nice Greek god, you're probably still a really shitty real person.
If you're worse than Zeus, then you're terrible. But if you're better than Zeus, it's okay.
Is there
so, like,
is there
the bar
one
is
worse
low.
than Zeus? Is there one
No.
worse than Zeus?
I would say no.
Yeah,
But I feel like
would
we've
also
created
probably
an
say
environment where these characters can thrive, because the winner is not the one who makes the nicest show. It's the show that gets the most views. So you got to be bringing in that drama, bringing
That's
in that
true.
heat.
That's true. Yeah, so I think to qualify, like what makes the best one is the one you most want to tune in to watch.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Who wins this draft.
And a lot of
I think
people you
Aphrodite
want
is
to tune
good.
in to watch because somebody might die, you know?
Yeah. Aphrodite, a great pick. I mean, I think it speaks for itself. Even if you don't know much about Greek gods, you know the value Aphrodite brings here. I am going to go with who I think will likely be my bachelor, and he is actually apparently the most beautiful of the gods, even more beautiful than Aphrodite, which is incredible. And if you have seen Disney's Hercules, you can understand why. He is unreal attractive, stupidly attractive, and that is Apollo. So I'm taking Apollo. He also seems to be like a good guy, an actual good guy who is, compared to other gods, seems like a good lead. So that's what I'm going with. Lannister is shaking her head vehemently, which scares me.
Apollo is absolutely a fuckboy. So, like, would he make good TV? Yeah. But, like, he's not a good boyfriend. He sucks. He negs you all the time. He puts you down. Like, no. That's fine. You can have Apollo. I
Also,
don't want him.
Daniel, can I just say, I'm looking at his Wikipedia page here, and there's a statue of him. And he's not bringing a whole lot to the table. I'll just leave it at that.
Am I allowed to say fuck on this show? I suppose I should have asked that first.
Yeah, you definitely can.
Ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Are you referring to penis size, Preston?
I think he's talking about dicks out.
I don't want to tell you explicitly what I'm referring to, but I'm just going to say he's not bringing a whole lot to the table.
I never thought of the day where Preston or any of us would penis size shame on this show.
Well, I seem to remember the last episode you told me to come out and defend myself, and I'm just telling you, your first round pick has a small wee-wee, and that's going to be a problem.
They all do. None of them have big dicks. Have you seen any Greek god statue? They all have little peens.
Aphrodite does not have a small penis.
Yeah, he's got you there.
Yeah, her peen is huge. You're right.
Insight.
I mean, if you've seen the Apollo and Hercules, though, he's definitely more attractive than Aphrodite. I'm sorry.
Is Apollo in Hercules? Are you sure you're not thinking?
Yes, 100%.
I struggled to remember this too. Actually,
he's
his
the one.
depiction
He's
of
like the
Hercules.
purple guy, and when
Are you talking about Narcissus?
No, not
That's
Narcissus.
That's not.
It's Apollo,
Is he?
and when Hercules slashes the chains, he's like, "This ought to even the odds."
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right.
He is
That's
the purple
Apollo,
guy.
Got
and he is fucking hot.
Okay.
Sure.
Come on,
Sure.
come on. Everyone listening doesn't agree with me on this.
I'm more used to the Hades depiction of Apollo, which is not as
It
good.
literally says in his Wikipedia that he's the most beautiful of the gods,
Okay.
and
Well,
and basically is
Gotta take
perfect
you at that.
and can do everything and anything.
Gotta take you at that. What's his deal? I don't know a lot about Apollo.
It says he can also bring ill health and deadly plague with his arrows. So it's like if you piss him off, he could just shoot the black plague at you, which seems a
Yeah,
little...
well, just don't piss him off.
Extreme.
Well, I don't think that I should have to tiptoe around someone, though. I don't think that I should have to be worried that if I piss them off, they're going to shoot the black plague at me. That seems like it should be, having that as a deal breaker, I feel like should be okay.
It's tension, though. People are going to want to tune in. Is he going to shoot someone with his black plague?
That's fine.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that would definitely be a weird euphemism. Lana, you have back-to-back picks here now.
So excited. I was like terrified that one of you was going to take my first choice. So I'm actually not going to tell you what my first choice is. I'm going to tell you that second because my first... Yeah, I know. You'll hear it in like 10 seconds. So I suppose there's that.
Just be patient.
Yeah, I just want to make you wait. So I would...
Story of
my
my
first... I'm sorry. I'm actually really torn between my 2 and 3 picks, but I'm going to go with Hades just because I think he's great. And I think a lot of that is informed by how much I watched Hercules as a kid also. Like, Hades was far and away the best in that movie. Like, I think we can all agree on that. Hades is the best. But also, like, he's pretty even-keeled. He's pretty dependable. Like, he's like neutral. He wants to let everybody do whatever they want to do. He's like, all you have to do is like stay in my house. That's it. Like, don't go anywhere else. That's gonna you like it's not safe.
That's reasonable.
Just stay here. Yeah. So he's just like a little emo soft boy, and I think out of all of the Olympians, he would probably be like the best long-term partner.
I definitely feel like Hades has been romanticized in modern culture. Probably a little bit more than he deserves. But he definitely is a better guy than you see in Hercules. He gets a bad rap in Hercules because he's like the ruler of the underworld, and so I feel like people associate that with hell and like Christian mythology. Like, I mean, Hades is not a bad guy. He's like one of the better, nicer gods for sure.
I also feel like you could make the argument that he's probably the one, like the god that you would want to be the most trustworthy and dependable because he's taking care of people for eternity. Whereas like everybody else who's above ground is just like, this is temporary. Like, it's only going to last for 80 years or whatever. I don't know how long they lived in ancient Greece. Probably not that long. Today we live 80 years, basically. So it's like, who do you really want? Who's more important to you? The person who's there for those 80 years or the person who's taking care of you for eternity, if you believe in that? I'm just saying.
Interesting. What a weird
I don't know.
argument there.
I just like Hades.
He did very famously kidnap Persephone, and kidnapping Persephone was not
that's
great.
the thing.
Persephone liked him. Yes, she was kidnapped, but I think that she ended up liking being there, and that's part of the reason that I believe she chose to eat the pomegranate seeds. So she had to stay. Because she actually liked him, but she was afraid of disappointing her mom.
Yeah. The mother is the real problem. No, the mother is the real problem in the Hades Persephone dilemma.
You can cut it out if you want to. We just
no. Lana's part was good. The only part that was bad was what Preston said.
I'm like
which
really
cannot stay in.
The fact that I said that.
It absolutely cannot stay in. I know that you were joking, and I'm not joking for saying it, but it definitely cannot stay in the podcast.
No, absolutely.
With our names
Fair enough.
to it.
I have to cough. Okay. So
no, to discuss the Hades pick, I do agree that the Persephone Hades romance is like one of the very few like genuinely endearing romantic stories.
And I think it's equal is the thing. I think they are equals. Whereas like Zeus and Hera, talk about a toxic marriage.
No.
Like you're gonna fuck up your kids because you guys should not be together.
Yeah. But so this I think is a knock against Hades in my opinion. Because he has found a healthy, beautiful romance. So why is he coming on a dating show here to romance someone else?
They've decided that they're poly.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll make up. I feel like it's not that much of a leap to say that the Greek gods wanted to be in poly relationships. Like I think they're capable of it.
Yeah, they were sexual beings.
They're opening up their marriage because they need to spice things up. It's
okay. Well, I mean, Hades can't see Persephone for half of the year, so.
Yeah, and anyway, so maybe Persephone's totally fine with it.
Yeah, maybe. But Lana, what's your first pick? You told us what your second pick is to build suspense for your first pick. So now, in the history of the show, this has never been done. We're now going back in time and taking Lana's first pick.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so my very first pick is absolutely Dionysus, the best of the best. Like just the god of wine, the god of pleasure, the god of festivity, the god of just pure hedonism. Absolutely. Dionysus is the best pick, and I'm kind of shocked that neither of you picked him. And I did not.
He just doesn't bring anything else.
He was the top. He was the other one of my top two, and I had to decide between him and Aphrodite, and I feel like I chose correctly there.
Yeah, you probably did.
I think Dionysus would be a great pick in like the fourth round as like the guy who lasts one episode and everyone's like, oh yeah, that guy was ridiculous. All he does is drink. He brings nothing else to the table.
Daniel, you clearly have never watched a reality TV show then. Like, have you ever seen an episode of a VH1 Bachelor show?
Yes.
You have.
A fashion show? No.
Bachelor show. So like Flavor of Love, Rock of Love, Daisy of Love, Real Chance of Love. I can keep going. Yeah, all of those. You have seen those shows, and you're really going to sit there and tell me with a straight face that you would not choose Dionysus to make the best show.
No, I would, but I don't think he's a pivotal part. I want my main romantic players. I think Dionysus leads absolutely no tension. Like, no one is picking Dionysus. He's going to be funny. He's going to be a crowd favorite for a few episodes before he gets voted off, and that's it. That's, like, his ceiling. I'm sorry, but that's true.
I don't know. I feel like he's just got a lot of charisma, and so, like, he's going to... And how do you know he's not the contestant? He might be my contestant.
Well,
I haven't decided
no one wants
yet.
to watch that. Save yourself and don't have Dionysus be your contestant.
I would watch that.
No one wants to watch. That would be an absolute train wreck.
If you want your ratings on this show... If you want your ratings on this show to be good, you want Dionysus on your show.
Sure, you want Dionysus, but I don't think he's a first-round pick. I really don't think he is. Well, I think it's a reach. I'm sorry.
I disagree.
Don't think he brings enough.
I thought about taking Dionysus first overall. I thought about it.
I'm really glad you didn't.
I mean, you made the right choice, Preston. Okay, let's see here. I think I now am going to take... This is hard. Like, I didn't really find a way of tiering these picks. I think I am going to take, though... Jeez. I'm going to take Eros. He's the actual creator of love.
No. He's the creator of desire and sex. Those are different things than love, as we know from being alive.
That's debatable.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Tinder.
Eros
is Tinder.
Eros is Tinder, and Aphrodite is Match.com.
Bumble.
Okay.
Or Bumble.
Moderately better, and you get to message first.
All right, well, fine. I mean, what makes for better TV then? I think it's inarguably Tinder. Eros is a randy son of a bitch. He is going to be getting it on with absolutely everyone. He's not even going to care about trying to woo the contestant or whatever. He's just going to be there for a good time. And I'm thrilled to get him in the second round.
I was going to take Eros next, so...
I'm just really curious though, because just a minute ago you said that you really wanted to have like this one true romantic pairing, and then now you choose Eros, who is like an absolute man slut. And I'm not saying that as a negative thing. I'm just saying like that as a statement of fact. Like
is that word in the show? I don't know.
I can rephrase it if you want.
No.
Eros.
Stand by.
Eros.
I think you maybe should rephrase it.
Eros likes to F. And everybody's consenting and they're having a great time, but he is absolutely about that short-term relationship. He is not here he's here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, but
so, like, that's not
I got Apollo with my first pick, so I have the long-term partner viability already. Now I need the complement of just the crazy fuck sessions. And that's what I get with Eros.
All right. I feel like we're going to say fuck a lot in this episode.
Yes, we're really earning that E-tag.
Lannister saved us with that one F just then. That really really saved the...
Well, I was trying to censor it, so...
We appreciate that. Okay, Preston. I couldn't let Preston have Aphrodite and Eros. I mean, it just would have been... It would have been too much.
Run away with it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, Preston, you now have back-to-back picks.
I think this is at the point where there's a massive drop-off. Because here's my issue. I'm just going to be very transparent about what I'm thinking through here. I want to take Hercules. But if the Bachelorette is Aphrodite, which is Hercules' mom, that's a weird dynamic. But I'm asking my compatriots here, in all seriousness, all of these people are related to each other.
Yeah,
so how are we handling this?
I think you have to ignore the incestuous thing.
Thank you.
I think you kind of do. They're all related in some way. A lot of them, sleep with each other anyway.
It's just like Game of Thrones. It's fine.
I think you kind of got to ignore it, or the whole concept of the draft falls apart.
That's the least problematic thing about Game of Thrones, I think, is the incest. So I think we can kind of take the same...
It's not the least problematic.
Interesting.
But it's certainly not the most.
When we get to the end, I feel like it's the least.
Yeah, that's why the end was so bad, is they needed you to forget about all that other stuff that was going on beforehand. So I'm taking Hercules here, or Heracles.
Hercules. This is a thing that kind of bothers me about the movie Hercules, because Hercules is the Roman name of Heracles, and Hercules clearly takes place in the Greek version of everything. So
but people know I'm taking Heracles, and part of this is I feel like I'm taking a young gun in his prime. Like on my reality dating show, I've got think about Justin Timberlake just out of NSYNC. Like that's what Hercules is. He's coming in. There's kind of this myth around him. He's coming in. He's still in tip-top shape, hasn't aged a day, and he's ready to crush it.
You know what Heracles is? Heracles is the good guy that absolutely everyone watching the show loves and roots for.
Yes. It's Harry Styles. He got Harry Styles on his reality show.
I did get Harry Styles.
But he does not get picked. He does not get picked by whoever your Bachelorette is, and everyone
definitely
hates her for it. And then he gets his own spin-off show, and it's delightful, and everyone
Yes, this is the plan. This is the 10-year plan. Yes. No, I think that's absolutely right. Okay, so it's still back to me, though, now.
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I'm struggling a lot. All of my S's and A tiers are gone. Just FYI.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah. Okay. This seems weird, but I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
I mean, all of this is weird. Let's just get that out of the way right now.
But this seems especially weird. I'm gonna take Hera. Hera is the goddess of women, marriage, family, and childbirth. I'd like a love-oriented person here. And I think marriage, like having the goddess of marriage on my show about building a relationship, I feel like at least adds a little bit of something.
There's a big problem here immediately.
Oh no. What is it?
What?
Hera fucking hates Heracles.
Yeah.
Good.
Like,
I was gonna say,
this is good.
Unhealthy levels.
It's good for your ratings because Hera's absolutely gonna kill someone before the show ends. So that'll
say goodbye to your spin-off for Hercules.
Yeah.
Well,
dying.
Listen. Good. I feel like this is exciting now. I actually like this pick more now that you've said that. And this is apparently such a well-known rivalry that having them both on the show is, excellent.
You need to have a good fist fight on your reality show, or else nobody cares. So you're going to get that. Actually, I think it's a great pick.
I mean, I think the producers are going to have to have their work cut out for them to keep these two, alive. Like, do you know the story of Hercules and Hera? The reason he's called Hercules is because Zeus, I forget I don't think he was named that at birth. He changed his name to try to appease Hera. Hercules changed his name to try to appease Hera because Hera hated him so fucking much because Zeus had him with a different person.
Zeus turned off the sun for 3 days so that he could just have a really long session with this lady that he had his eye on, and then her husband came home. Her husband came home and also had a really hot sesh, and that's where Hercules came from. And Hera found out, and she was real pissed. And so actually, fun fact, the Disney movie's wrong because Hera's the one that sent the snakes to kill him and stuff.
Yeah, she tries to go multiple times. She also puts all these curses on him. She sends him into a fit of rage and has him murder his first wife and shit. Megra is murdered by Hercules in the Hercules myth.
This seems good. This seems like I'm creating some drama. I like everything drama. I'm hearing now. It seems.
I want to be clear, drama. Preston. You've got really strong VH1 energy and less Bachelorette energy at this point, which is
honestly,
fine. That's
Bachelorette not good. I would much rather watch all those VH1 shows. Sure.
Same, hard same.
All right, well, the only reason I bring that up is because that is one of the few dramas that I do know about. I'm sure there are others that will conflict with my lineup, so hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. I am going to take also just what is unequivocally a bad person, but I think I have to take him not just for name recognition, but for the pure drama he's going to bring. So I'm going to take Zeus here in the third round, and I kind of feel like that's a steal.
Yes, it is a steal. I mean, he sucks.
He sucks.
He does.
I was going to say, Zeus was not even on my list because I hate him so much.
That's totally fair. It's
that would
totally
have been between
fair.
you guys.
I think it's fair. I just think objectively, it just feels like a great value here, He obviously is a horrible dude. I think, in a modern day, he probably isn't as horrible. He probably doesn't do as much of the same stuff. I'm trying to avoid a certain word here, but I think
feel he's one of the Paul brothers.
Interesting.
He's that level of people are gonna watch him. They're gonna watch.
Yeah,
and they
love to hate him. You'll love to hate him, and whoever my contestant is gonna be so drawn to him despite all of his obvious toxicity, because there's just something about him. There's just
this is when in the Bachelor. This is when in the Bachelor and Bachelorette canon, somebody were to pull the contestant aside and say, Aphrodite, I just need you to know that Zeus isn't here for the right reasons. And then Aphrodite goes, what did he say? And then they say, well, we found out that Zeus actually has a girlfriend back home. Or while he's been here, he's been messaging girls on Instagram. Or Olympusgram. He's been messaging other goddesses on Olympusgram. And then the contestant or the Bachelorette gets super conflicted and is like, do I send him home or not? And that's the highest rated episode of the series.
I saw him grinding on someone at the Mount Olympus nightclub, and I just really thought you should know.
Oh,
can I be honest?
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing Preston's ever said on this show.
It's very accurate.
It's so accurate and very funny. I love it. But he's gonna make it to the final 2 or 3, and all the red flags are gonna be there, but there's just the contestant's still gonna be drawn to him for some reason. And you're right, the friend doesn't have to come on. Yeah. Wow. But I think I have to love the pick here. Getting Zeus the third. Just people are gonna see Zeus on the list and be like, oh wow, that's an absolute steal.
Yeah.
And I feel pretty strongly about that.
I agree.
Okay.
All right. So Lana, you have once again back-to-back picks.
All right. Well, this makes me feel like I need to go for some more name recognition because so far I'm not really going for name recognition.
People are going to love Hades, I think.
Hades is a very good pick. Yeah. Hades is a very good pick, and I feel like he would have gotten taken if I hadn't drafted him first or second.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel pretty good about having both of those. But I think I need to I think I need to get a little estrogen in here. I'm just assuming that these people are all binary. I don't know if that's actually true or not. They're probably not. But for simplicity's
everyone
sake,
in Greece, I think, was pretty much.
Yeah. But they're all bi. Like, I think we have to just accept that everybody is, like, either bisexual or pansexual here. So we're just going to put that aside. I feel like I'm really torn between two choices for this. And I'm actually only going to draft one of them because there's another one that I have to choose. And I don't want either of you to have it. So I am actually going to go ahead and choose Athena.
Oh.
Because, yeah. So Athena is, like, hella smart. She will fuck you up. Like, then you need that. Like, you need someone who's, like, really smart and able to manipulate everybody else. You need someone to go to everybody else in the house individually and say, let's form an alliance. Like, that's a very, very standard thing for these shows. And I think that person would be Athena here. She's also incredibly vengeful. There's the whole Arachne myth. Like, she definitely went overboard there. So, like, she's going to overreact. She's going to throw a fit at the reunion show. Someone is going to have to, like, a bodyguard is going to have to pick her up and carry her off the stage because she's throwing punches and trying to rip out someone's hair. So, Athena, like, I think Athena is an exceptionally good pick. And I think she's going to give me really good ratings.
So, in the Bachelorette canon, there's usually a contestant that, like, from the day they get there, they're not concerned about winning the affection of the person. They're concerned about winning the game. And you can always tell in the little intro videos, it's like, you know, Chad is a pharmaceutical sales rep from Houston. It's like, oh, he seems fine. And then you see, like, Dave is a minor league baseball player who's been playing sports since he was 2.5 years old. And he comes in and he's like, I don't give a crap about anybody else's feelings on this. They can all die as far as I'm concerned. Like, that's who you've taken here with Athena. It's like, why? What are we even doing anymore? It doesn't matter. Do I need to pick up this log and beat all my other teammates with it? Okay, fine. I'll do it.
Athena is the person who comes in and absolutely says in those little confessionals that she's not here to make friends.
Yes.
She doesn't care if she leaves this with any friends.
That's it. That is absolutely it. Yes, you're right.
And you need that. You need that in a reality show. So
yes, you do.
I think that's a good one.
Athena's a strong pick for sure.
Okay, and so my fourth pick, man, I really kind of feel like I should make a certain choice, but I'm going to make the one that just feels real and, like, genuine to me, and I'm going to go with Poseidon. And this is for one very specific reason. So Poseidon chose the sea because he was just, like, kind of short-sighted. He just is really impulsive. He just makes decisions because Zeus got the sky, right? And Hades got stuck with the underworld, which he actually really loved. And Poseidon was like, I want the sea. So he wasn't thinking about that. So he's just going to do things. And it's going to be, like, it's going to be the kind of thing that you watch. It's going to be the kind of thing that people make gifts out of. But also, Poseidon was really, really enamored with Demeter. And he was trying to impress her. And this is my favorite Greek myth of all time. He was really trying to impress her, and she was like, look, if you make the most beautiful animal, like, I'll fuck you. Like, that's pretty much what happened. So Poseidon just started making a bunch of, like, four-legged things. So he made, like, goats.
Everyone knows that's the most beautiful.
Yeah, the most dogs, like, cats. I don't know. I actually don't know what the animals are that he made. But he just,
Horse,
like... And
right? Isn't that the big one?
You're spoiling it.
Dang it, Daniel!
God damn it.
God,
So he just kept making... You ruined it.
Just power through. Just power through.
It's fine. We're going to pretend that you didn't say that. So he just kept making animals and bringing them to Demeter. And she was like, no, that's a goat. Like, I guess that's kind of cute, but, like, goat yoga is not really my thing. Pass. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to make a llama. And she's like, it's really soft, I guess, but it's, you know, it spits. No, thank you. And so he, like, gets so obsessed with making animals that he thinks are cute that he forgets about Demeter entirely until he makes a horse. And so he's the original horse girl, and also he's just, like, hyper-focused on his little project. And I feel like that's the kind of energy that I want. Like, it's pretty innocent, all things considered.
Isn't he a huge dick, though?
We're not talking about that. We're talking about him as a horse girl.
The one nice thing. Wasn't he, like, the actual worst of, like, all the gods?
I thought Zeus was the worst. Zeus
I feel
seems
like
the worst.
Zeus is the worst.
I feel like
Zeus
Poseidon
is
is up there, but without any of the, like, redeemability of just being the coolest.
I am a horse girl Poseidon truther. So
Okay.
Well, there you have it.
That's
There you have it, folks.
It's a risky pick, Lana, I have to say. It's a risky pick.
Well, that's my middle name.
Okay.
I don't think... Okay, just real quick before we move on. It doesn't seem. I'm looking at the remaining here. It does not seem like a risky pick because at least people know who Poseidon
A risky piss?
is.
Yeah.
No, that's true. People know who Poseidon is, but hopefully
People,
they know
like-
what an absolute dastardly bastard he was, and they vote against him.
I choose to believe that he was a sensitive boy who just liked making pretty things. That's Hades, actually, but we'll put that aside.
Yeah, I am glad though that you got one of Hades' brothers because I feel like he clearly had a pretty big rivalry with the brothers, and I think that'll be a good dynamic. I think the Poseidon
real
versus
enchants
Hades energy.
Yeah, they're Real Enchants from I Live New York, and then they get their own spin-off show.
Real Enchants! Wow, incredible! What a throwback!
Wow. All three of our
What a
listeners
throwback.
are
Those are-
laughing
those are-
hysterically at that reference.
Those are two people I've not thought about. Two people I've not thought about probably since I was 14 years old. Incredible. They got their own spin-off show?
They got 2 seasons of their own spin-off show.
Wow.
Wowzers.
Good for them, man. Good
Yeah.
for them. That's how. What a time that was, and you could just manufacture celebrity in that way. You know, they got their own TV show for 2 seasons. Real Enchants, incredible.
I didn't know this, but like SNL did parodies of Rock of Love. I just assume they did it for all the VH1 dating shows. But like, can you imagine being so famous that SNL does a parody of you, and all you did was like fill out an application on some GeoCities website to go date whoever, like someone who didn't win on Bret Michaels' dating show.
That's a rare spin-off of a spin-off because they were contestants on I Love New York, which is a spin-off of Flavor of Love.
Oh my God.
That's incredible for them. Really,
It's amazing
really
you
good
can
job
follow
for Real
this
Enchants.
and you still say that the MCU is too much for you.
I'm not that interested in it. Listen,
Oh
I
my
watched it,
God.
like, if I was 14, which is the age I was when these shows were coming out, I would be gobbling up the MCU.
Okay.
I'm
He's
a cynic
interested in
now,
Daisy of
Preston.
Love. Come on.
I know. I'm sorry.
There's
I apologize.
Daisy of Love?
Oh, there was Daisy of Love from season 2 of Rock of Love. She came in
Okay.
second. I'm so sorry, Preston.
I missed that. I think I only really watched the first season of Rock of Love. I wasn't as into Rock of Love.
Rock of Love is pretty. It's pretty scraping the bottom of the barrel. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's not highbrow entertainment.
Oh, I thought it was. Dang. I'm so sorry to hear that.
All right. To try to get the draft back on the rails here.
Sorry.
No, this is where the show thrives. I am going to take. This might be. I mean, I feel like everything is off the beaten path now, but I am going to take Hermes because when I was reading his Wikipedia description, it screamed Loki energy at me, and no one is hotter than Loki right now. His nickname was the Divine Trickster, which I mean is like tell me it doesn't scream Loki, right?
So hot right now.
So hot right now. So hot. Hotter than Real Enchants ever were. And now Preston has to keep that part in, which is great.
Dang it.
He also he wooed Aphrodite. He really got around and really did quite well for himself. And the fact that he wooed Aphrodite, I mean, I think speaks volumes to the kind of at least his romancing capabilities, which obviously are going to shine on a show like this.
I was going to take Hermes as a host. Like a
Oh,
Chris,
he does
like a
have-
Chris Harrison type.
He has
That's 'cause
strong
you're,
Ryan Seacrest energy.
Well,
Yes.
I think if you're like picturing like Hermes from Disney's Hercules,
Yeah, which I would imagine Twitter is going to do. So I was going to try and make a push for
Isn't
it.
that Andy Dick? Is it Andy Dick that does Hermes in Disney?
That sounds
Probably.
I think
That
so.
does.
Andy Dick, Hermes, incredible. Thank
No,
you for
I
that
think
trivia.
he's a really good pick. He also, I saw somewhere that it said that he was Zeus's personal messenger, which is really cool because then that gives you like a built-in alliance for your show if you choose not to have him as the host. So you have
Right.
like the main guy who's Zeus, who's like an actual competitor.
the
and then you
sidekick
have
of
Hermes.
Zeus a little bit.
Yeah, and Hermes
like-
is like kind of leeching off of his success, so he gets eliminated like third to last. I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
say.
Yeah, good
Okay.
chemistry there. Thank you for pointing that out, Lana.
Can I ask you, are you concerned at all? Like, and it's not a problem. I'm not. This isn't like a problem.
Before you go any further, just remember that it's 2021.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, all right. I know that I get it. I'm from a red state, but I'm not red. So are you concerned at all that you have 4 dudes?
No.
Okay.
No.
Fair enough. All right. I mean, it is 2021. Like, it's legal everywhere. So I was just curious. Like, maybe it is time for it. Maybe it's time for
I just
completely...
think I think it's a more of a like personality dynamic question.
That's fair enough. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Although the
I'm
Greek
gods,
the Greek gods that are men are fairly what's the way to say it?
Fluid.
They're kind of
Promiscuous?
gender fluid, right? I mean, like they're definitely a lot more feminine than like most
I feel
Jesus
like they do a
depictions.
lot of having sex as bros, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the problem here?
There's no problem. I was just asking if that was the direction that you were going. I'm so sorry.
No, I would
Very-
just
very
appreciate it if
interesting.
you could bring a fresh and open mind to our podcast, but that's just me, I guess.
Really sorry.
No, it's okay. All right, let's
Sorry,
just
just
can
stop.
we just take another shot at it?
We're just giving you a hard time.
Can we go back to the beginning?
My
is-
gender roles.
I'm not going for. I wasn't planning on taking an all masculine cast. I just think the value of each of these has been too high to pass up for a female character who I feel like at this point all the females are kind of duds. I'll say it.
Whoa.
That's kind of
Wow.
where I'm at.
All right, you're hating on me for asking if you want to have this kind of dating show, and then you come in here with that kind of misogyny.
No, listen, there are great female characters that have been picked, but they're not available anymore. Okay, Preston, you now have back-to-back picks.
I'm losing. Pretty bad. Let's think.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't have a lot of great
You got Aphrodite, man.
I feel
People
like
are gonna be tuning in for
but I
Aphrodite.
feel like
don't
picking
You
you?
have
first-
Aphrodite and Hercules,
Yeah.
like the two most identifiable outside of Zeus, I would say.
picking first here I think was a tough spot because I had to wait so long. I couldn't get another big name early, but Hercules is okay. Okay. I'm going to take Hephaestus. And here's my vision here for those who don't know Hephaestus.
Are you just taking all the
So
H names? Is that
imagine
what's
you're
happening
watching
here?
like The Bachelorette, and they're gonna do a date where Aphrodite is picking from the crew who they want to go on like a private excursion with. So Hephaestus says, "Let's go on a private excursion." They're gonna go do some like glass blowing and metalworking, and what you get out of that is that one scene where Aphrodite is standing there with the glass blowing thing, and she's like turning it, and she's like, "Am I doing this right?" And then Hephaestus comes up behind her and like puts his hand on her hands. And he's like, "No, you got to do it more like this way." That scene is basically the only reason I'm taking Hephaestus. He'll probably get eliminated pretty early, but it seems like he's kind of artisty, and I like that.
We love an artist.
That's the other reason I took it, is I
Yeah,
knew neither of you were going to
the,
have anything productive to say about this.
The problem with Hephaestus is he's canonically an Uggo.
But here's the thing though,
That's
is like
just humanizing.
if he's like really nice which he is, and he's artistic and he's like thoughtful and he plans out a date like that to take, we're gonna say, Aphrodite out on. I'm just assuming that's your contestant. Like that's something that every woman at home watching. I suppose I shouldn't make generalizations. I would watch that at home and I would be like, oh my god, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. Like
Yeah, and then
would
he
win me
doesn't
over.
make the first cut. And
Well,
you
yeah,
also
but
die
that's
for him.
fine.
And then
Every
forget about him
show,
immediately.
No.
Every show needs
I don't think
somebody
that's-
like that.
I think he would make the first cut because she ends up marrying him.
Yeah, but not really by choice.
He's got the two people in his draft that actually end up together. Have you even stopped to consider that?
I did that
Daniel?
so intentionally. I didn't accidentally fall into that at all.
Listen,
Listen.
What, because it's a forced marriage? Do you know why?
No, she got to choose.
I read that the gods made her get married to him so that she would be like tamed, basically. Like Aphrodite's too wild; she needs to marry Hephaestus.
Whoa. There's some revisionist history going on here.
I don't know about that. I feel like she chose to marry him, and maybe I'm misremembering this. But I feel like
No. You had it. You had it right. Continue to
Yeah,
advocate for my team, please.
I think he's like really nice to her, and he's really creative, and he takes her on really thoughtful dates, and she's like, "Oh my god, this is so much better than going to a football game and having beer spilled on me."
Yeah,
Like,
which is
that's
what
how it
Hercules
goes
would
down.
do, by the way, for sure.
yeah, that's exactly where
Yeah,
Hercules.
Hercules
is
is
like
like-
hockey,
yeah.
right?
Hercules is like, we're going to go watch the Olympics and we're going to get trashed. And my buddy Brian is on the rugby team and we're just like going to go out with the team afterwards. And she's going to be like, he's really cute,
boy.
but this date was a little weird. Meanwhile, Hephaestus is in the corner and he's like, this is
Hercules, can I also just say that Hercules would absolutely hand her a handle of Fireball and be like, "Hey, do you want some of this before we go out? Do you want a pregame?"
great.
Like,
Absolutely.
Hephaestus would never do that.
Hephaestus is like, listen, Wear something comfortable. It's just going to be you and me. It's going to be totally fine.
Yeah, you don't. Well, I don't know if he would say like you don't have to wear makeup. Like that's. I don't like it when people say that. So
did I say that? I did not.
No,
that
you
was
didn't. You didn't.
No, stop coming at me with
projecting.
Projecting.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying like sometimes that's a thing people will say. Like Hercules actually sounds like he would say that. He'd be like, "Don't wear makeup," and then you'd show up and he'd be like, "Oh my God, you look sick." You'd be like,
are you feeling okay?
You told me not to wear makeup.
All right. We've spent
Preston
way
would
too
never
much
do
time on Preston, what's your next pick?
So much more time than I thought we would. All right. With this, I'm playing a little bit of prevent defense here. I'm going to take Persephone.
Damn it.
Queen.
I think you have to.
I think just like very simply, she seems like kind of sought after. She's a central character in one of the best love stories of mythology. Yeah, seems like an actual like good match. So I'm going for it.
I like that. Honestly, I like it. I don't think it works for your lineup necessarily, but I love that Lana doesn't get her.
Well, that's
because
kind of
Lana,
that was
if Lana gets her, then it might be game over for all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, Persephone is like the original goth girl, so obviously she's like very near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I totally get that. I do think the value of both Hades and Persephone would be drastically increased if they were both in the same show. Because then you could sell like Persephone as the main contestant, because like her mob makes her go on because she wants her to move on from Hades, and then Hades comes on as like mid-season, like he wasn't supposed to be on the show, but then the producers add him in for a late twist, and all the other contestants are pissed, but Hades like comes in and he's gonna win. You know he's gonna win, and it's be really romantic and great. But now none of us get that storyline.
I know.
It's
I
a
know.
damn shame.
I'm acutely aware of that. So it's fine.
Defense.
Oh, okay.
Defense is the best offense.
Is that? I don't think it's true anymore.
Were you just talking
Isn't it the best? Isn't it the best? Never mind.
We don't have time to have this conversation.
We really don't.
Well, you see, with the 85 Bears, here's what they did well. No, we got to bring this back on the rails.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take another sexual deviant masculine character here, and that is Pan. Call me crazy.
Weird. No.
Call me crazy.
Weird. He's like,
He was famous for his sexual powers, Preston.
But he's also
he was
half
extremely
goat,
what?
He's half goat.
No,
he's
man.
Got hooves.
No.
He's like a fawn.
He's Pan. Yeah, he's a fawn.
He's got hooves. Right.
Well, everybody in this show is Pan.
He
obviously.
looks like Mr. Tumnus. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
Mr. Tumnus looks like him.
Nobody saw Mr. Tumnus and was like, ooh.
No,
What's up,
but
James
listen,
McAvoy?
but maybe if Mr. Tumnus had the sexual prowess that Pan did.
I will say the only thing that could redeem this in my mind is he apparently is the god of all the nymphs. Now that would be pretty cool if you could have an episode where the nymphs come on the show. That'd be a fun time. But
apparently
Pan
was
by
great
himself seems like a strange pick to me.
He and Apollo are gonna have an incredible music episode. Incredible.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. They're gonna leave the show to go form a band because they realize their careers are taking a turn.
Listen, all I'm saying is
I think they're actually one of them is going to receive a rose or whatever, and then they're going to reject it because they've decided they want to follow their heart and have a music career with the other one. So
that'd be kind of nice.
It's actually good for your ratings.
Oh wow, that'd be fun.
I think if Preston can get past his very closed-mindedness about love,
about
I
hooves,
think he would see that Pan as
about hooves. Yeah, very closed-minded about people with the bottom of a goat. Yeah, I just need to open my mind.
It's totally
unbelievable. I never in my days.
It's 2021. It's 2021.
I didn't know the draft was such a bigoted show. This is really opening my mind.
It's just weird. It's just strange to me.
All of this is weird, man.
I know, but it's not been that weird. That's a different kind of weird.
Well, apparently he was great in bed, so I'm taking it. People are gonna love it. Everyone's gonna want to sleep with Pan.
No.
I feel like everybody's going to want to sleep with Zeus, though, just for the status.
They're all going to want to sleep with each other. Every single one of them.
That's true. But, like, Zeus is definitely more of a status symbol than Pan.
Sure.
Pan
Let's
is a
bring
good
the fifth
time.
round
Like,
to-
are you going to enjoy yourself more with Zeus? No, you're going to
He's
enjoy
a
yourself
selfish
more with
lover,
Pan.
for
But
sure.
like, yeah, absolutely. But like, you'd want to brag about Zeus a little bit more.
Well,
I think,
you can.
if you
Listen,
were into
they're
that
going to be
sort of
they're
thing.
going to be in the house for a long time. They're going to be able to sleep with each other multiple times, and it's just going to be great for TV. But Lana, you have your final two picks. How are you going to wrap up your lineup?
Okay, so I feel like my hand has been forced here, which is like fine. But I think I'm gonna have to be really heteronormative about this, so I apologize. But it's gonna be interesting. I think it's really interesting because I think Athena is gonna be really difficult to win over. So my second to last pick is actually going to be Aries. So Aries, the jock, the guy who wants to fight all the time.
You've got a lot of fighting in your show.
Well, but like this is physical fighting, and Athena is like more mental fighting, I would say. Everybody, I don't know that anybody else wants to fight. Hades is just like sensitive and like nice and just wants to follow
Hades
the
is
rules.
going to have a hard time on this show. He might not make it to the end. He might have an
I
emotional
think Hades
breakdown.
is actually a really strong contender because he has good long-term partner potential.
I agree with that. I just think for his own sake, it's going to be tough for him to
Doesn't
live
have the gamesmanship.
in the house. Yeah, I think he's going to have a hard time. Everyone is going to be ganging up on him.
I think if he plays the sad boy thing, so if he does like the Damian Rice or the Ray LaMontagne, which he could absolutely do, he could play the sad boy thing and absolutely sweep this show. So I'm holding out for Hades. Dionysus is not really here to fight. He's here to have a good time, so he doesn't care if he wins or loses. He's just like really charming, and he's going to be entertaining, and he's going to be the gifts, I think. But I'm going to go with Aries.
The gifts?
Yeah.
I'm glad this is something you've thought of. The long-lasting power of your show comes in the gifts.
I think the gifts that come out of this show are really what's going to set it apart, I think. If you get a lot of gifts, you get a lot of things trending on Twitter, that's what's going to make your show get the best rating. So I think that's important. So I've got all of that already. Aries is here to kind of take the place of, if I may step outside of the dating show, reality show thing, and just take us to Jersey Shore. I think Aries is the Ronnie. So
I never watched Jersey Shore.
Oh my gosh. So I like the thing that I
wait, which one is the oh, it's Mike the situation, right?
Yeah, Mike doesn't fight. Ronnie fights.
Okay.
Ronnie like punches a guy in the street and knocks him out, and he like throws a bunk bed around a room while Sammy is like sitting on it. He does like it's really fucked up. It's actually really fucked up. Yeah. So anyway, Aries is the one who's like there for the fights, and I think that's really important.
He's the jock. He's the jock bro douche.
Yeah, you have to have that on there, like specifically for the ratings. That's really what I'm going for.
People are gonna love to hate him.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's a good pick.
I think so too.
I don't know if he needs any more defending. So my last pick is actually not an Olympian. We're gonna go with a Titan. We're gonna go with Prometheus because he, I think, is going to be a dark horse. So he's known as the supreme trickster of the gods, and he's also the god of fire, which is very important. So I think that he's really going to be strategizing, and I like him because I think that he's a good match for Athena when it comes to strategy. So I think if Athena is my contestant and we have Hades, Dionysus, Poseidon, Aries, and Prometheus fighting for her, like that would be a good show. They all bring something different to the table.
Now, I have to say,
they're good matches.
I cannot retort to this because Prometheus was not on our list of eligible draftees, so I did not look up anything about Prometheus.
I texted it to you today, so...
Cheater. We got it. Just because you think you send a little texty text means you can get around the rules, does it? I
asked about this. I asked specifically today if I could include Titans.
Well,
that was a different Daniel. That was a different Daniel.
My response was we could talk about it with Preston on the show, and we have not done it until now. But I'm willing to allow it.
Are you going to make me choose someone else?
But you try to get... No, I think it's fine.
No.
I think Prometheus is fair. Like, he's pretty well known.
Yeah.
Cheater.
And they have that... and that's kind of rich coming from Preston, if we're being honest.
Hey, hold on now.
He's been good this season. He's been very good this season.
Now.
But he pushed the boundaries season 1, and we all know.
Also, just in the draft of canon, there is no bigger attempt to cheat than saying that Michael Jordan is a fictional character. That is the largest attempted cheat that we've ever had on the show, and that was not.
Who did?
It was
That was
the
Pat.
very first show we ever recorded. It was not our first release, but it was the fictional athletes to form a team across a few sports. And Pat, with his first pick, took
Michael Jordan from Space Jam, which is a ridiculous assertion that Michael Jordan is as real
the logic
as Bugs
behind
Bunny.
You could see the logic.
No.
I don't think so. I think Michael Jordan is like maybe one of the most famous people on the planet, and he's very much alive.
He's very much a real human being.
Well,
yeah.
Are you saying that if Michael Jordan were dead, it would have been an okay pick, Lana?
No.
Why'd you bring that kind of
like,
energy on the show?
That's kind of what it seemed like.
I think Michael Jordan is one of the most famous people on the planet, so no.
No, he is. But,
ridiculous.
So is Bugs Bunny in a way. No, it's okay. Prometheus is fine. I don't know what to say about it. I can't. There's nothing I can say to say.
I think he's also someone who would go to everybody else in the house and say like, okay, we're in an alliance. So actually, if Athena's the contestant, I need Prometheus to take her place. I need him to be the one who's like manipulating everybody else, going behind everybody else's back, forming all these secret alliances, and then backstabbing them at the last minute. Like, he's not going to win. Don't get me wrong. Prometheus is not going to win.
Well, they can't all win.
But
they can't all win.
They can't all win. Well, I mean, maybe. He can't win. So, but I need him. I need him for that that sort of mind game element.
Okay. I think it's fine. Okay, this is tough. I mean, I really struggled to get 16 even like people that I would want to pick because I didn't exceed the list as Lana has done. So I think what I'm going to do, I only have 2 people left on my tier list, and one is just really boring and literally only put him there so I could have or an 18th. Sorry, not a 16th. I'm bad at math. I am going to fill my, fill that female role now with the mother of literally everything. And boy, is she a prolific sexual being. Basically everything that exists on Earth is because she had sex with someone at some point, and that is Gaia.
Yes. Mother Earth.
Yeah.
I feel like Gaia and Pan are going to have some fun interactions.
Oh boy, are they? They really are.
There's not a lot to say about this one. You took God. Good job.
I mean, I'm gonna say though, like if we're talking about like the mother of everything, so like the mother of all mothers, like who wants to think about their mom?
Ooh.
Okay, no one was thinking about that until you said it.
Also,
you said she's the mother of everything.
A lot of people think about their mom in Greek literature.
And listen, and the Greek gods had no problem boinking their mom. Okay, none.
You know what you do, Dan, is you make Gaia the contestant, make her the lead, Bachelorette, and call the show Oedipus Complex. Fridays at 8.
Okay, but like
Oedipus Complex.
I need to add just one more thing onto this though, because in some cases this is the mom, but in other cases this is the grandma. So now we've got 2. So it's like the mom or the grandma. You're thinking about going onto a dating show. Stop that. It's. I'm just saying.
She's a gilf. Gaia, I'd like to fuck.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Also, apropos of absolutely nothing, but I've noticed this when doing my research. For some reason, she's described as wide-breasted.
Okay. So she got big titties.
I guess so. So she's got that going for her. Thank you for.
It's much more poetic in the literature.
Yeah, I'm glad Lana said it and not me.
That's what I'm here for.
Hey, but listen, it's gonna get the viewers, you know. Okay, Preston, you have the final pick of what has easily been the weirdest draft in the history of this show.
Okay, yeah, and this is only gonna get weirder. This kind of weirds me out, but I'm gonna provide some context here that hopefully saves me on this last pick because I've been thinking about it for a while. So I've watched a lot of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, and since like 2012, well, first of all, since the initial season of the show, around like 3 or 4 contestants left, they do something called the fantasy suites, which is Chris Harrison or a nice host books them a lovely little hotel room on the water, and the idea is if the date goes well, they go back to the fantasy suite and they so that's what the fantasy suite is. Now, without fail, since 2011, 2012, something like that, there are contestants that come on the show with such explicit intentions to save themselves for marriage. They come onto a show that has fantasy suites like knowing that that's a thing. That's a central
exactly
theme of
who
the
you're gonna
show.
take.
And
Does one of them eat a whole raw potato and then the other spritzes himself in the face with just a water mister?
What?
Have you heard that story?
What are you talking about?
Are you okay?
This is a real.
Are you feeling all right?
Are you having a stroke?
No, this is a real thing. It's a real thing. It goes around on like Twitter and Reddit all the time. It's like this Christian couple that got married, and they're like, well, we were chaste before marriage, so we decided like, what's even holier than being chaste before marriage? Being chaste after marriage. So we're not gonna have sex. One of us, if we're feeling like things are getting a little hot and heavy in here, I'm just going to eat a whole raw potato and I'm just going to mist myself in the face with cold water, and then we won't have sex.
I feel like the one of the partner that has to eat a whole raw potato got the terrible end of that deal. Because splashing some cold water on your face is a very like usable tactic. Eating a whole raw potato.
Have you ever heard this supposed story about the potato?
No, absolutely
okay.
not.
I didn't make this up. I'll put it in the Discord. I'll put it in your Discord. It's a real thing.
I think you might have made it up.
Nice plug for the Discord.
Yeah, very nice. Join the draft cord. Trademark. It's going to be the bonus poll this week. Have you heard this potato story?
So,
but anyway, I think we know exactly who you're taking.
Well, I want to finish my story here.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So always on these seasons, there's a very strange confrontation between what is usually a very like sex positive contestant and a very I'm going to save myself till marriage kind of suitor. And I'm going to take Artemis, who was the goddess. Yeah. By the way, one of my favorite Greek gods, because I'm not a big hunter, but I like the animal stuff and the hunting spirit and all that other stuff. It's like super cool. But also the goddess of celibacy, which you would think is a problem. But as weird as it is, every single one of these seasons I've ever watched has somebody on here who has to confront their celibacy. And all of the Artemis stories, a lot of them are about having male suitors, her denying them, and then sending animals to go kill them. So I feel like that's a cool energy to bring onto my show here.
It is.
Well, it's definitely an energy.
It's definitely something.
No, I get it, because she's got like Arya from Game of Thrones energy pre-final season.
Yes.
Which everybody loved her.
Stupid though.
So,
How out of character.
But yes, pre-season 8, yes, you're absolutely right. That is the total vibe
I get it. Yeah. That's fair.
I don't think Artemis is going to have a good time on the show, you know?
But that's what I say about all these people, but they still come on the show anyways. And I'm like, what are you doing here?
Well, that's because when they're on TV, it's fake. They don't actually give a shit about being celibate. They're like, hey, you're the fucking celibate one. And then when it comes down to it, you're going to blow the dude or whatever.
Says you. But I watched an episode of The Bachelor or Bachelorette, I think, where a guy tried to read the Bachelorette Bible verses on one of their private dates. And it was a strange energy.
Yeah. Listen, man, everything on those shows is so scripted.
Yeah, so I'm bringing the heat. I'm bringing the heat. Okay. And I'm like really throwing. Verses? It was really weird. I'm throwing a wrench into this sexual machine I've built.
And then he ate a raw potato, right, Lana?
Yeah, he ate a raw potato and he spritzed himself in the face with cool water.
Yeah. That seems like overkill. The water after eating a raw potato.
Well, that is the final pick. Obviously, we have a lot more to talk about. We'll do that in just a minute after a quick break. But first, here are the teams. Preston ends up with Aphrodite, Hercules or Hercules, Hera, Hephaestus, Persephone, and Artemis. I end up with Apollo, Eros, Zeus, Hermes, Pan, and Gaia. And Lana has Dionysus, Hades, Athena, Poseidon, Aries, and Prometheus. So we'll be back in just a second to break those teams down. Okay, so we always ask these questions, of course, after the draft. First, I want to know, who is the one person that you wish, or God, I should say, you wish you could have picked, but for whatever reason were not able to?
Well, my brain immediately jumped to Hades the game, because it's the most I've interacted with the source material here, and there are a lot of characters that weren't on our list. Mm-hmm. Thanatos is wonderful. Megara, I actually, on my wedding day, about 5 hours before I was going to get married, played a round of Hades that ended with me hooking up with Megara, and I feel like that was a good omen for my marriage.
You dog. On your wedding day? How dare
on my
you?
wedding. I had to get one last moment of infidelity in.
That was your
my
bachelor
wedding.
party. Hooking up with Megara in video game form.
Yeah, and then the last one, he's not a god, but I remember hearing this story when I was a little kid, and it like has always scared me, which is Sisyphus in Greek mythology, who was forced to forever roll a boulder up the hill. I just want him on the show so he can just stop for just a moment. Stop rolling the boulder up the hill. Because he's been doing it for eternity, and it seems like he could use a break.
But you know, what an idiot. What a stupid idiot he is. Like, no one deserves to roll a boulder uphill for... Well, I shouldn't say no one. He didn't deserve to have to roll a boulder up for all of eternity. But there was one rule. And it was a very easy rule to not break.
Yeah.
And he knew the punishment, and he did it anyway.
He did it twice, actually.
What was the rule?
He cheated death. I just think Sisyphus could use a break. That's all I'm saying. And he seems like listen, there are a lot of people that I would replace. I would take Sisyphus out and put Tucker Carlson in and make Tucker Carlson push a boulder up a hill for the rest of eternity.
Yeah, great choice.
But I think Sisyphus has done it long enough.
They were vindictive, man. Yeah. The punishments never fit the crime. Never.
Can I ask, would you choose Tucker Carlson over Alex Jones?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
I think so.
Yeah. I feel like that would make
Tucker Carlson has a wider audience, you know?
Yeah.
That's true.
And Alex Jones admitted in a court of law that he's just playing a character. So.
He's a character, yeah.
Oh my God. What about Rush Limbaugh? If Rush Limbaugh was still alive, would you choose him? This is the last one I'll ask.
No, I'm still taking Tucker Carlson.
Okay. All right.
It's a very punchable face, that one. It's a very punchable face.
Extraordinarily punchable.
It really is.
All right, what about you? What about you, Anna? Who did you?
Who are you picking to push the boulder up the?
We're moving on from the boulder.
Sisyphus didn't even cross my mind. Honestly, so if I was going to choose someone that one of you guys had gotten, I would have chosen Persephone, because I think that having Persephone and Hades on the same show would have been like flawless. Yes. I think I would have won hands down. That's too much power. If I was going to choose someone who was not like really eligible to be drafted, I would have chosen Pandora, just because because I think Pandora gets a bad rap. Pandora is the Eve of Greek mythology, and also the Lilith of Greek mythology. And those characters have always resonated with me, because I think that it's bullshit, patriarchal garbage to say that women are responsible for everything that's wrong in the world. It's like, that's really fucking convenient.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
Fucking convenient for everything to be my fault. Like, yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's my fault. I opened the box, I ate the apple, and then I gave it to you. And then you're like, okay, this is why we had to declare bankruptcy and move out of our house, and why my kids hate me. It's like, no, it's not my fault. Maybe you're just a terrible.
The 2008 financial crisis is because we opened the box.
COVID lays solely on the shoulders of Pandora, Eve, and Lilith.
Hard to argue with that. For me, it was Narcissus, who was not a god, I don't think. Maybe he was like a minor god, but definitely a very famous Greek myth, who was so in love with himself that he, when he looked at his own reflection in a pool of water, he perished because he just stayed looking at himself until he died. I think that would be a phenomenal character to have on this type of show. Yeah, so I was sad that he didn't fit our parameters. Okay, what was the worst pick of the ones that did get taken? Not all at once, please.
So, again, I don't feel like it's terrible. I feel like I'm doing this every week now. It's not a bad pick. It was just taken at the wrong time. I was probably going to sit on Hades for a couple rounds and not take Hades so early. Yeah, maybe that's just me.
I think that is just you. I think I definitely anticipated Hades going pretty early. I would have taken Hades second round.
Has name recognition.
Yeah,
he's got name recognition.
And Hades is hot right now. Like I feel like Hades. Like I said, he's being really romanticized. I feel like in a lot of places on the internet as like the cute, sweet emo boy. I definitely would have taken him second round if Lana had not.
Okay, I'm wrong then. Then I don't know that I have a worse pick. If anything, my picks like my Hephaestus pick comes down to just like not knowing what I'm doing. So I didn't like that one a whole lot, but I still feel like I ended up with a good team.
Fair enough. Lana, what about you?
Oh man, I kind of feel the same way. I don't like, none of them really jump out at me as being terrible. The only one that I would say is a bad pick is Zeus, and that's just because I think he's such a piece of shit. So
yeah, he is.
That's not really a good rationale.
At least Poseidon has horses.
Yeah, at least Poseidon has horses.
Yeah, but I mean, I think objectively Zeus is a very strong pick. Like, I can understand why you would not take him, but...
No, I mean, like, that's not fair. That's just me, like, my own personal biases, obviously. Honestly, like, from a strategic standpoint, I think Artemis would be the hardest sell because of the celibacy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
because it's already a rich flavor to the show.
But it's a foregone conclusion that she's like not gonna fuck before the end of the show. You know what I mean?
But this is, and that's the same case with all these Bachelorette and Bachelorette people. I just said Bachelorette twice, but with all those people. But then there's always a moment where they don't tell anybody that. Like the producers know, and you know, and it's this great like Alfred Hitchcock. There's a bomb under the table thing. Of like just waiting for it to go off, because then they get to the fantasy suite and the Bachelor or Bachelorette's like, wait, what? Like, why did I waste this spot on you? And it turns into this kind of weird energy after that, but building up to it, it's great.
Incredible.
So are you saying Artemis would have to win for this to pay off?
She'd at least have to make it to the suite.
Well, I'm not making my contestants wait for fantasy suites. I think the fantasy suites will always be open on this show.
Yeah, I think it comes with the territory.
You know what would be a great theme for any of our groups here? Has anybody watched the Netflix show? I think it's called Too Hot to Handle.
No.
The entire premise of the show is they put 20 just incredibly attractive people on an island, and they tell them they're not allowed to touch each other. They tell them that the only way you get eliminated from the island is if you have intercourse. And the whole show is them just trying to keep it in their pants. And it's hysterical.
The whole show is just them eating raw potatoes and spritzing themselves in the faces with water.
Wow.
God, yeah, that'd be a game-breaking strat if any of them figured it out.
That sounds like such a... Like, I mean, they're all scripted, but that sounds like an especially scripted one. Because I feel like it wouldn't really be that hard to not screw each other.
I've watched a ton of reality shows, and that actually, I kind of enjoyed that one. It's super like trashy.
No, I'm not saying a scripted reality show can't be enjoyable. I'm not saying that. I just the whole show falls apart if they don't actually fuck, and I feel like they could pretty easily not fuck without people telling them, okay, now you guys Well,
so I'm remembering basically, if you make it through the whole 4-week period without having sex, you win like $50,000 or something. Or $100,000.
It's very
but
easy
then
to not have sex for 4
every
weeks.
time you do something, like, oh, we kissed, the host of the show comes out and is like, all right, give me $10,000.
Just don't do that then.
They're deducting down. So like some people won the show and they won like $82. And it was
this is so
really
dumb.
funny. Oh, it was
That's
great.
so dumb.
I would recommend it. I think we're gonna watch it when I come down and see you.
Okay, sounds interesting. For me, I think it was Hera. I think, like you said, you did it for love, but you already had Aphrodite, so it felt like kind of overkill. I think Hera would have been more interesting if you'd like paired her with Zeus. I think like that would have just been such a toxic dynamic, such a nuclearly toxic dynamic that it would have been great TV. But otherwise, and Hercules has that a little bit, but I think it was a little early to take Hera when there were some other like big players on the board.
The Hera-Heracles dynamic is...
it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's dicey. It's
dicey.
Yeah. You got a lot of lawsuits on your hand, potentially.
Wow, listen.
Okay, now before I ask who won the draft, we all need to pick who our main contestant is, who our Bachelor/Bachelorette is, who everyone else is competing for their affection.
I'm a little split here, actually, because I thought I was just going to do Aphrodite. I'm thinking about some other directions it could go. It could go Hercules, and you're finding him his first love on Mount Olympus or something like that. Or it could go Persephone, who's incredibly sought after, and maybe Hades is out of the picture now. But I think I'm just going to stick with Aphrodite. It seems like the logical choice.
Yeah, seems right. Also, like it breaks down if Aphrodite is a contestant, because like she's pretty much guaranteed to win.
Yes, pretty tricky.
That's true. Man, I mean, I feel like there's just like some part of my brain that's like you have to make the female identified person the the person. But I don't really want to do that because I also I know, I'm sorry, like I grew up Catholic. It's really hard to break those kinds of things. I think that I feel like I should have to choose Athena, but also I feel like Athena would be much better as a competitor because she's so strategic. Honestly, I feel like my contestant has to be Dionysus because he's so chaotic and there's no way to predict what it is that he wants or what he's going to do. And so when you think about like the really good shows, the person whose affections everybody is vying for needs to have like a lot of charisma. Like you have to want to watch them. Like Flavor Flav was very good. Yeah, you want to root for him. Like I think Dionysus has to be my contestant. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, so we have Dionysus and Hades, Athena, Poseidon, Aries, and Prometheus. They're all vying for his affections.
That's very interesting. That's not the direction I would go. I feel like that Dionysus, like his only value is comedic levity.
I don't think so.
Dionysus is the guy of like pure hedonism and wine and like
partying.
having a good time.
He's literally the god of partying.
So who cares if he finds love or not? I don't know. I'm not convinced.
Jeez.
Well, it's not going to last. It's not going to last.
Whoa, how dare you? How dare you?
There's going to be multiple seasons. This is a Brett Michaels situation. There's at least 3 seasons. Yeah, I do.
Maybe the show is about finding someone to bring him back to reality, make him not such a party guy.
Yeah, someone to tie him down.
This
figuratively and literally.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Sorry, you probably have to cut that out.
Whoa!
You have to cut that
Put that potato in your mouth.
There's the cold open for you.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. This one is tough for me too, I have to say. I think the most chaotic choice is Pan on my team.
So strange.
I think Apollo is better as like the golden boy everyone roots for. I know Lannister says he's a fuckboy, but I don't agree with that. So it's either Pan or Eros. And it's so tough for me. I don't know. I think especially because Preston is weirded out by the Pan thing, which I think is fucked up, and he should be canceled over that take. Nope. I guess I'll go Eros here. I think either one would be really fascinating, though.
I'm changing my mind. Pan is the worst pick of the draft. I had forgotten about that. I had blocked it out from my mind.
Oh, Pan is a great pick. You're so close-minded.
You're so close-minded.
It's a little weird. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like it has to be between Eros and Zeus, doesn't it? Because like, think about the most attractive, famous person on the planet that you possibly can, and that's Zeus.
That's true, but I think you need the Zeus Hermes dynamic. I think you need both of them to be contestants to maximize both of them. So I think Hermes loses too much value if you make Zeus the main person. I also I want to see Zeus knock down a peg when he doesn't win this competition. You know what I mean? I think that is like the main draw of my lineup.
Well, and you get that episode where he gets voted off, and then he's like flipping tables as he's leaving.
Yeah, exactly. And
I hope all of you die. And then he's slamming doors, and he goes up to the camera, and he's like, "Get that shit out of my face," which is the classic.
He rips the microphone off his chest.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
That scene is in the teaser of every single episode, even though it doesn't happen till like episode 23.
Yes.
And just everyone keeps tuning in for the moment that Zeus blows up. Okay, so now that we know,
Eros is a good choice.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. No. I will take praise at any time, even if it interrupts my flow of thought. So now the final question, as always, who has the best lineup? Whose romance reality show are you most dying to tune into? And of course, if you pick your own, who is your runner-up?
I had a strong first 2 picks and a strong last 2 picks. And I think the middle's where I lost this a little bit. Hera and Hephaestus just don't bring a whole lot to the table.
Hephaestus
I kind of got a
is
little
toughie,
scared.
I think.
Yeah. So I think it's Lana. Easy. Especially because she doesn't have a goat man on her show. So I'm not tuning in to watch Mr. Tumnus find love.
He's not
Mr.
Mr.
tune in to
Tumnus.
watch Hades and Poseidon, though. That sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
Couple brothers going back at it.
Doesn't Poseidon look like a fucking weirdo fish guy?
What? No.
I'm gonna say that this is like the Jason Momoa I know he's Aquaman. I know it's not. I know that's DC.
Yeah,
it's not
he looks
MCU. But we're gonna
just
pretend
like Jason Momoa. Like almost.
we're gonna
just
pretend.
Like Jason.
I think Poseidon looks like Jason Momoa, so I'm gonna just.
No, he has
say that.
has feet, Dan, and all the statues at least.
He doesn't have fins though.
Even
Doesn't
if you
look
say,
like
even
it.
if you say that he's like King Triton from The Little Mermaid, like he's a.
No. Well, Triton was his own thing. I just feel like I see a lot of depictions of Poseidon as much more fish-like. But I guess you have to go by like the
I was gonna say
the
he's
Greek
a zaddy,
statues where he's not. Wait, what? What?
I was gonna say he's a zaddy, but all right.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we got that in.
Anyway,
Horse girl.
I'm
Anywho,
gonna
so
single-handedly alienate all of your viewers.
Lana, who are you taking as the best lineup? I'm guessing it's you. So if it's you, who's your second place?
Yeah, I'm going to vote for myself because I don't like it when I don't get my way. If I had to choose someone other than my own, like the problem is that Daniel picked two of my least favorite gods, and that's Zeus and Apollo. And yes, I do have a rank for myself. I also just think that like,
Of course,
I do.
that's so unbranded.
It is. From a pure name recognition standpoint, I think that Preston takes it because he has Hercules.
Woo!
He has fucking Hercules.
Yes.
And then on top of that, he has Aphrodite. Like I feel like you've really sold Aphrodite and you've done that well, but you're underselling Hercules. Like he is incredibly well known. I would say he's probably the most well known. He got his own fucking Disney movie.
The problem with Hercules is he gets killed off in week 2 by his stepmom.
Not
Well-
if he kills her first.
Yeah.
He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. Doesn't have it in him.
Doesn't
Well,
have it
I
in
think
him.
he's a big himbo, and I think having a himbo
I'm glad Himbo has finally been entered into the canon.
Himbo
of
has
Drafted.
entered the chat, and his name is Hercules, and I think he's really important on the show. So honestly, I really think that Preston took it.
Oh wow,
Yes. No, I
Well-
agree.
that hurts. I just think you can't take Preston. I don't think because the Hephaestus pick is just
Better than a goat man.
He's a neg. I don't think so. I really don't think he is. I think he's definitely worse than a goat man. A goat man is interesting at least. Hephaestus is
I
just a
think-
washed up nothing.
You're not appreciating the soft boy aspect of Hephaestus.
Yes, the
like,
artistry.
He's so sensitive. He's sensitive and he's an artist. And the thing is, like, if someone plays like, I hate this, but if someone plays the guitar, that takes them from being a 5 to being like an 8 easily. And that's like, I hate that about myself, but it's true. Wow. It's like a primal thing. I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm not going to make generalizations. You can cut that out if you want to. But there's something stupid that happens in your brain where you're like, oh my God, he's more attractive now. It's dumb.
All right, well, I mean, Hephaestus, like, canonically was, like, repulsively unattractive. But whatever.
Nope.
Whatever.
Nope.
He plays a guitar, apparently, so that it's fine.
He's going to come on and do Wonderwall in the courtyard, and everybody's going to lose it.
I think he actually makes jewelry, but all right.
Okay.
Hey, listen,
All
same
right.
thing.
I really think my team is quite strong here. I really do. I think it was crazy that I got Zeus in the third round. Like, absolutely crazy. I think he, like, you could argue that he should have been, like, the second pick, potentially. I do like Lana's team more than Preston's. I mean, getting Hades I like a lot, and the Athena pick makes a lot of sense. And Aries is the jock I really like a lot, too. I would have taken him if I had gotten more female characters earlier, because I think that's like a great compliment to having more female presence on the show. But the Dionysus just was too early for me. I'm sorry. I think he's a great complimentary piece. I don't think he's the star of this kind of show.
You're so wrong about this.
I don't know.
You're so wrong about this.
The voters will decide. And of course, you guys always vote on Twitter at DraftedPod on Twitter. And join the discussion, as Lana alluded to, on Discord. Let us know where we went wrong. Tell us. And you know what? I don't know goddamn thing about any of this stuff. Okay, I did my best. Okay, but so just remember that when you rip me to shreds in Discord. That's all I ask. That's all. I ask.
Ditto, please.
Yeah, same. I mean, I feel like it's all
No,
open to
no,
interpretation.
not you,
Lana
not you.
He's the expert of the three of us.
Get out of here.
It's all.
Spare her
I'm not. It's all open to interpretation. Come on.
No.
Come on.
Okay, well, my interpretation is that I have the best team, and I hope Twitch agrees. But yeah, Lana, thank you so much for coming. I was gonna say thank you so much for having us on, but it's our show.
It is your
Thank
show.
you so
Thank
much
you for letting me.
Yeah, we hope
letting me do this.
we hope you had fun.
Really hope that I don't alienate all of your viewers.
It's okay.
I mean, at this point, I think they're
Listeners.
committed. I think they're committed.
They
to the
don't
show.
even know what you're talking about because everything's been cut. This episode was 8 minutes long. And they're like, did they draft anything?
It's just us saying the names.
Is this an episode? Lana, I've already promoted the Twitch, which is at HouseLanaster. Is there anything else you want to self-promote with to our humongous and loyal audience?
I mean, if you really like trash tweets, I'm the queen of that. Just the queen of the trash tweets. But you can find that on my Twitch page, so that's pretty much it.
We love trash tweets around here. So go follow Lana on Twitter. She's an extremely funny person, as I'm sure. Unless we had to cut everything. I'm sure you picked that up from her show. So go support her and all of her creative endeavors. But yeah, that's it for us. You guys know where to find us, and we'll talk to you in a week.
That was weird.
I'm so sorry.
In
I
some
really
ways,
hope that I didn't make...
In some ways, you wish the power had gone out halfway through that one.